What is a woman? Take 3 or 4. I've done this one before. And why am I interested in this one? Because other people are interested in it. If other people weren't interested in it, I wouldn't be. But given that a lot of people are, and I know they are, because the word woman was the word of the year last year for dictionary.com, which means that even if you think that the meaning of the word woman is uncontroversial or set in stone or self-evident, you're wrong. You're wrong. It can be all of those things in your mind, but it's not out there. It's not self-evident out there. Otherwise, how did it get to become word of the year for dictionary.com? So do I care, about what the word woman means? No, I don't. Couldn't care less. But if other people, if the whole world is talking about it, I take an interest. I do that with lots of things. There was a while back there where racism was really a hot topic. It's not anymore, not lately anyway. I haven't heard anything to do with racism for a good, I reckon, 6 months. But for a while there, the Black Lives Matter thing, other people were talking about nothing else, almost. So, of course, then I get into it. Because if everyone else is talking about something, I like to have my head straight on what I think about that thing. Not because I have a need to project what I think out into the world, but because I need to get my head straight. Not because I need to sort of get a buzzsaw, an angle grinder or something, and sort of go around my head and cut my skull and open the top of my head, reach into my own head, grab what I think, and then go over to everybody else in the world, open the tops of their heads and shove it in there. It's not because of that. You can easily be misinterpreted as being that sort of person when you're talking about these contentious topics. The word woman is not contentious. It's black and white. You've either got a womb or you haven't. But it is contentious. Otherwise, how did it become word of the year in dictionary.com? But I'm not one of those people. Look, you can easily be misunderstood as being one of those people. Let's say we're in the heat of the Black Lives Matter sort of moment, which went for a while actually. It's probably still going, but if I'm not hearing about it, it's a tree in the forest, I'm sure it's still going. I'm not on social media, so if the very few people who send me stuff from the world of social media stop sending me stuff about a certain topic, then that topic disappears for me. So Black Lives Matter, the people I know, the very few people who I talk to, those people tend to be on social media and they send me stuff. They're my spies. If they lose interest in something like Black Lives Matter, then it doesn't exist. It's not that I've specifically decided not to think about it anymore. It's that my friends have stopped thinking about it. All right. But it's easy to be misunderstood as like if if I made episodes on Black Lives Matter, when Black Lives Matter was a big thing in my world, people would say, what is it with you privileged white men? Because that's what I am. And I love it. Well, I do, I don't think it's great that I've got it, but I've got it and I ain't giving it up in a hurry. Why would you give it up? All right, would anybody else? I don't know. Anyway, so it's easy. You can imagine people listening to my podcasts or whatever these things are, YouTube clips, and saying, always have to, you talk too much, you sorts of people. Why is it you need to talk about racism so much? Well, because other people are. So I want to get my head straight on it. Because everyone else is talking about it. I don't want to go to a party and say, oh God, I haven't thought about that one. I don't want to do that. So the same goes for the word woman. Everybody's talking about that at the moment. That's the latest Black Lives Matter moment. It's the woman moment. It's not the men moment. I don't hear that one, but it would apply equally the other way, I'm sure. There are people who are trans in both directions. All right. Now, notably, I was sent a video clip by someone called Ben Shapiro, who I now know who that guy is, and he is a lawyer in America, but also an influencer and 50 other things. He's written many books. I googled him. All right. So me, I'm a bloke in a car who doesn't matter. He's a guy that matters. I don't matter, and I love it. But Ben Shapiro, in this clip I saw, quite brilliantly answered the question, what is a woman? And essentially his answer was, it's that thing that's got a womb, All right. And being a lawyer, and I think it's because of this, and being someone who speaks on stage and on YouTube clips and on podcasts and things, he spoke extremely well. And his arguments were beautiful. But I think he made a mistake before he even started speaking. Once he started speaking, great. I could find no fault with anything he said. But I can find a fault in the fact that he was stupid enough to even jump into his answer without worrying about whether the question had any faults in it. And the question does have a huge fault in it. The question, what is a woman? A huge fault. Anyone who jumps in and starts answering that has made a mistake. Straight away, Ben Shapiro made a mistake. How dare I say that when I'm just a bloke in a car and he's a megastar? But he made a mistake. It doesn't matter how brilliant he was after that. That brilliance sat on a shaky foundation. And the shaky foundation really was this. When someone asked him what is a woman, what he should have said is well, let's first define the word woman. And depending on how you define the word woman, well, because a word is a word. And what it applies to is whatever you want it to apply to. It just is. It's a word. It doesn't have any meaning in and of itself. So, what he should have said, well, first let's make sure that we have a common agreement on what the word woman means, what it applies to, not even what it means. The word means nothing. What does it apply to? And when words apply to something, they usually apply to things quite approximately anyway, and there's usually a whole lot of variety in the, what a word applies to, depending on who you talk to. So you have to do that, He made a mistake. He should have done that first. And, for Ben Shapiro, almost the dictionary meaning of the word, definitely. His internal dictionary, in his internal dictionary, the word woman applies to a thing with a womb. But there's not only one dictionary in the world, there are other dictionaries, and other dictionaries that exist in people's heads. Now, look, we're not talking about fringe people. But as long as it's millions upon millions of people who have got a dictionary in their heads that have a common, let's say, meaning of a word, then it becomes valid. You know, you can't write multiple millions of people off as all being nuts. You know what I mean? It's almost a democracy. No, it is a democracy. All right, for millions and millions of people, the word woman applies to not only that thing with a womb, but also to the identity of people who are born biological males, and you know, this is their reality, not their feelings. Ben Shapiro wrote them off as, you know, the facts don't care about your feelings. He was wrong. Their reality. It's a different word, and words are important. All right, and then you have to define the word reality. But see, this is where he didn't do any of this. He just launched into his answer. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. And you can say, hey, reality is whatever is out there. But, you know, a cursory look at philosophy throughout the ages will say, if you're going to try and run that line, you know, that it has to physically be true to be a reality. You know, you've knocked Descartes out already, and are you smarter than Descartes? You know, you've got Hume, you've got Kant, all these sorts of different people going backwards and forwards talking about all this stuff. Are you saying that whole discussion was, you know, you've got Plato, you've got Socrates, are you saying all that was, you know, are they all stupid people? You know, no. You know, there are different types of reality. Don't write it off as, the facts don't care about your feelings, you know. No, for millions and millions of people, the word woman applies to men who, as their internal reality, are women, you know, but Mother Nature assigned them with no womb, you know, with a willy instead, that sort of thing. And you can say, well, you know, they're wrong. No. Step back. No. Their reality, their internal reality is that they are a woman and they were misassigned. You know, because what happens is someone like Ben Shapiro will say, have you got a womb? And if you haven't, you're wrong. And the answer to that is no, they're not wrong. They know they've got no womb. They know they've got no womb. They're very aware of that. They can go and get an x-ray. They know that. Don't say that they don't know that. They know that. They are saying they are they've been misassigned. You know, it's an internal reality. And if you want to write off internal realities, are you sure that you're so smart that you can write off everything that Socrates and Plato and, you know, Aristotle and all these guys, Descartes and Hume and Kant and a million others, all the philosophers throughout history, are you sure that you can just say they were all wasting their time even chatting about reality? I think not. So, what's his name, Ben Shapiro, should have said, you know, when someone said, what is a woman, he should have said, well, let's just get the butcher's paper out and get some of the meanings, you know, not the meanings really, but when you will put the word woman at the top, and let's see what that word applies to in the minds of, you know, large numbers of people throughout the world. And once we have written out that butcher's paper, then we can answer that question, what is a woman? Because we just look at the butcher's paper and we'll see what a woman is. We'll say that for all those people over there, it's someone with a womb. For all those people over there, well, it's someone with a womb, but it is also people, you know, it is also the internal reality of a lot of other people. And it's not a question of delusion, it's a question of reality. It's not a question of your feelings, you know, getting in the way of the facts. It's a question of your reality, you know. And Ben Shapiro was very disrespectful of the fact that he's got his own version of reality in his head, and that other people have got their own. He was disrespectful of the fact that other people have got their own. There you go. Om Shiva, baby.